top 5 noble victories Pokemon. Number 5. Duan. Now, before you get angry, yes, Duan did fade quite a lot after a while, but in fact, after just a little while. But for a little while just before EXs, before there were Pokemon that could just wipe it out super quickly. I mean, there still were, I guess, but it still had a chance. It was actually a reasonable enough deck. So, I don't think it deserves any better than the spot number 5, but Devouring for 4 could actually win you the match. So that's why it's number 5 on this list. Okay, here we are with number 4. Kyurem. Kyurem's first attack, Outrage, is exactly the same as Zekrom and Reshiram's Outrage. It does 20 damage, and it can do a maximum of 140 if it has 120 damage counters on it. Its second attack, though, is quite different. Guillotine does 30 damage, 3 for 30. But there's a catch, a good catch, by the way. Guillotine does 30 damage to all of your opponent's Pokemon, including bench. So if they have 5 bench Pokemon, it can do, just off my maths, 180 damage in all. And also, if they have any Cleffers on the bench, because in this format they were Cleffers, it can knock them out. So that's why it's a good card, and that's why it's number 4 on this list. Get ready, we're into the top 3, and here it is, number 3. Eviolite. Eviolite, when attached to a Pokemon, does prevents 20 damage from every attack done to that Pokemon, or all damage done to that Pokemon. This card was also on my top 5 Pokemon trainer cards from Black and White onwards, and is actually a really good card, I believe. It can save you from a lot of knockout situations, or at least reduce damage. And if your opponent can only do 20 damage in one of their turns, like starting up, that prevents that damage entirely. Same goes if they do 10 or none. Obviously none. Well, that's why it's on this list at number 3. And yeah, let's see what's up next. Okay, here we are in the top 2. This is number 2. My next up is Terrakion. Terrakion is a really good card overall. It's got a great 130 HP. It's not an EX, so your opponent will only draw 1 prize when knocked out. And it can do 3 for 90, which, considering it is an EX, as I previously stated, is great. Retaliate also does 2 for 30, but if your Pokemon, one of your Pokemon was knocked out by opponent's attack last turn, it does an extra 60. So that means if in general case this Pokemon's come up from your bench, well, at least some of the time, then you're coming up from the bench because your active Pokemon's been knocked out, then this comes into play. That's why it's just an all-round good Pokemon, and that's why it's at number 2 on this list. Okay, the final one, what will it be? Electric. Well, especially in my opinion, this Pokemon is excellent. I just love it. I mean, Dynamotor is what it's all about. Lightning Ball does 3 for 50, which is definitely nothing special. In fact, it's pretty bad. But Dynamotor, its ability lets you take 1 energy from your discard pile and attach it to one of your Pokemon. I mean, letting you draw that card at least from your discard pile would be pretty good, and it might still even see some play in some decks. But letting it then attach it to your Pokemon, essentially giving you 2, or even if you have 2 or more energy attaches for the turn, then that's just great. So, I mean, by what I say by more is more electrics in play. So, it's just an all-round great card. That's why it's number 1. I hope you've enjoyed this top 5 list. Thanks for watching. Bye.